ladies. The ability to taste is one of our fundamental senses, and in my opinion, is one of the most exciting. In this week's session, we're going to focus on this fundamental sense. It's a slightly different approach this week, which I hope you will enjoy. My aim with this session is to make you think a little bit more about what you're choosing to put on your plate and how it makes you feel. Once again, any thoughts or comments, please post them to the WhatsApp group. When we talk about food flavour and seasoning, we often start off by talking about salt. Salt has been demonised in recent years for being the main culprit to high blood pressure. However, this is likely to be an oversimplification of the situation. It's true that we only need about 6 grams of salt a day as a maximum. But salt is also an important component in our diets, and too much will likely disguise many of the subtle flavours that are on our plates. Rather than demonise salt, I want you to think about alternatives, as there are many other seasonings and flavours that you can use to bring your food to life. We have refrigeration, and so the use of salt as a preservative, while useful, can also be unnecessary. Some salt can enhance a dish, but so can peppers, chilies, and root spices like turmeric or ginger. There are health-boosting properties that support our immune system in many of the spices that we have available to us. For example, the active ingredients in turmeric and cinnamon are activated when heated and mixed with fats and peppers, which can in turn help to lower inflammation in our bodies. Cinnamon also has the ability to influence insulin sensitivity, which in turn can counteract type 2 diabetes and help to stop weight gain. I'm not suggesting you consume these in excess, as that can have other problems, but I would encourage you to add them into your diet when you can. Let's now look at flavour profiles in a bit more detail. We have up to 10,000 taste buds on our tongues, and for the 5 main sense tastes there are sweet, bitter, sour, spicy and umami. This last one is a savoury sense related to monosodium glutamate and saltiness. To bust a myth, our taste buds are not split into zones on our tongue, as the tongue has the ability to taste all along it. Our taste buds regenerate every 10 days, and their sensitivity is controlled by our genes. This explains why some people are more sensitive to some flavours than others. Our ability to taste and identify different flavours will also influence our likes and dislikes for certain foods. It will also determine how much we like fats, sugars, or vegetables. When we eat certain foods, we don't only experience our foods with our mouths, but it's a full sensory experience using sight, smell, touch, sound, and of course taste. All these senses send messages to our brain about what we are experiencing, which in turn will influence how we feel. Let's now look at some of these flavours in more detail. Let's start by looking at some slightly fruitier and sweeter tasting foods, and looking at why these both help us to feel good and why they are good for us. Berries are brightly coloured and just packed with polyphenols, flavonoids and antioxidants. In other words, lots of really good things. They're hugely beneficial to your health and well-being as part of a varied and balanced diet. Grapes, prunes and dates are also superb sources of vitamins and fibre. They're slightly sweeter on your palate than many berries. They're also useful if you suffer from constipation and digestive comfort. I'm sure that you may well have had the odd grape that is bitter or sour, and this stimulates our tongue and our brain in a different way to those that are juicier and sweeter. Both experiences add to our sensory experience of eating grapes. Moving on to foods that sit between sweet and sour, you come across beans, and these are another group of foods that you might like to incorporate into your diet. Beans and legumes can play a healing role in our guts and can help us to also feel better. They can also help to control blood sugar levels as they are packed with fibre and a slow release energy. Remember, you should aim for about 30 grams of fibre a day, and beans are an excellent source. Looking at this selection of food, let's start with cabbage. It is a food that lends itself well to fermenting, and it is a food that our guts just love. It helps to diversify our gut bacteria, creating a healthy zone for them in which to live. This in turn supports our immune system and overall well-being. Beetroots are also very good for us as they can help to lower blood pressure. They also help to increase blood flow to our brain and so good for counteracting both dementia and reducing anxiety. They're also good for our heart, reducing the risk of stroke and heart attack. Peppers and chilies both pack a punch on the palate, and aside from enhancing dishes with flavour, they are full of vitamins and fibre. Their colourful skins provide us with those beneficial antioxidants, and they also contain vital elements that are thought to help bolster our immune system and to fight viruses. Mushrooms should also be incorporated into your diet, as and when you can, as they provide you with that umami flavour. They're also one of the best natural sources of vitamin D and fibre. They're key to your gut health and help to promote the growth of friendly bacteria. Hence, they really are a superfood at supporting your overall well-being. The last flavour group we are going to talk about is bitter. Although younger children find this a tricky flavour to deal with, it adds an important element to many dishes, and it is a flavour that our bodies really enjoy when we are brave enough to consume it. Some of the best sources of this flavour can be found in green tea, good quality coffee, and cocoa. These are also good for us, especially for our mood, when consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. Lastly, I have to mention olive oil. It works in harmony with all these tasting foods. It helps to provide a transport system into and around our bodies. It is a healthy energy source that helps to protect our organs, while also activating many of the active ingredients in the foods that we have spoken about. If there is one thing that I would like you to take away from this talk, and don't remember anything else, then I have this one piece of advice. Try to eat between 20 and 30 different foods, flavours or spices each week. This isn't actually as much as it sounds. It's only 3 to 4 different things each day. And try to vary the spices, textures and elements as much as you can. It's one of the simplest ways to eat as much variety as you possibly can. I hope you've enjoyed this session today, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Until then, take care and goodbye.